Welcome. Let's solve some of the questions which were asked in the ICMR NET examination 2022. Now, ICMR is Indian Council for Medical Research. It conducts the exam under two domains, life sciences and social sciences. The social sciences, as we have discussed in our another video, encompasses the topics related to anthropology, psychology, sociology, social work, statistics and more. So, let's discuss some of the questions that were asked. Now, the first question pertained to emotional intelligence and asked which of the following is not an attribute of emotional intelligence. So self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy and social skills are part of it. So self-management, social awareness and self-awareness would be the answer. So the only incorrect answer here is 2. So this was a very direct question that was asked based on emotional intelligence, the Goldman's principle. The next is the Maslow's law of hierarchy. Now under the Maslow's law of hierarchy, the first basic needs are the physiological needs, followed by the safety, love and belonging, esteem, and finally the need of self-actualization, which is the highest level. So only if you remember this diagram itself, you would be able to answer the question. So the correct answer here is 4, which is self-esteem. Another very basic, very fundamental question that was asked. The next talked about the basics of attachment theory. Now the concept of attachment theory was given by Bowlby. John Bowlby did various experiments with monkey and proved the concept of attachment theory. We have covered this in our video lectures on doorstep tutor in psychology, covering the various theories under psychological concepts. The next question talked about the concept again from psychology pertaining to learning. Now here the question was very simple. Let's say if we go back to the Pavlov's experiment, what was done? Under Pavlov's experiment, the dog was conditioned with bell. So initially dog was given the food which was the unconditioned stimuli on which the dog had an unconditioned response of salivation, but later this was accompanied with bell. So this was a conditioned response. So even if food was not brought, the bell was enough for the dog to salivate. Now what happened if this conditioned response is eliminating by withdrawing the reinforcement? So we eliminate this kind of response which is created. This would ultimately lead to extinction. So if it happens once, twice, thrice, ultimately what would happen? The dog would no more respond to the salivation, or the dog won't salivate anymore on the response of bell if no food is provided. That means if the conditioned response is eliminated by withdrawing the reinforcement which was the food there, this would ultimately lead to extinction. So again, a very, very important concept under learning. The last of this question that we would deal is with the basics of study method. So here, when a researcher tests several group of people at the same time, so the time is same, very, very important, but they are from different age groups. So 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. We call this as cross-sectional. Longitude means the same person being studied over a period of time. Observational is simply you observe, and sequential is one after the other. So that's the difference. So here the correct answer becomes cross-sectional. Now those were some of the questions which were asked in your ICMR NET examination for 2022. We have covered the questions for ICMR, the practice questions for life sciences and social sciences on the link on doorstep tutor below. This would help you get an insight about how to attempt the questions, and of the 100 questions you have to only solve 75 questions. So you have an edge. Let's say you are more conversant with psychology, sociology, you can pick the questions from those stream and solve those on a priority basis. So those were some of the tips that you require for ICMR, but definitely once you go through the ICMR scholarship, you get a good stipend and a good research platform as well. Thanks for joining in today.